It is time for another Gundam build, and in amongst the box of bits I've got these two who share roughly the same basic structure, just obviously ornamented differently, so they don't quite, because there's only so far all I can find are two arms, luckily a left and a right. So I'm going to mix and match and make one out of them, and maybe get lucky and maybe find all the other bits whilst I'm about it. And then I have an idea for an interesting way to decorate it and turn it into something different to what it's intended. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start on the strip down, and I think I'll probably go to time lapse for this and come back when they're in bits and then work out which bits are going back together. Well, digging through the parts box has changed things because I found two missing arms, the back bit of what I terribly want to call robot butt, but the back bit of the waist section of this one, and various other bits and pieces down here, including alternatives for the legs and that bit there, and other bits and pieces. The one thing I haven't found is a replacement for what goes in there. So this just graduated from being bodging together one fighting suit, robot, whatever, from two, to having two that are almost complete that just need a little bit of modification each. So I'm off to do a little bit of plotting and designing, and will return once I have a broader plan. Time for a quick update, and when I said there was an idea for this project, I can now tell you a little bit more about it. This arrived in the post today. It is a 1/43rd, and I'm going to have to apologise to any Brazilian listeners now. My pronunciation is going to be awful. 1/43rd Gurgle Itaipu E400 van. The Gurgle, or Gurgle as I'm calling it, was an electric van designed and built in Brazil, and it dates back to the 1980s. It's that old, and it's got that rather cute retro future look to it, and I quite liked it, and I thought I had to have one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the Gundam up in similar colours. It's decorated in colours for a company called Telerj, again apologies for pronunciation, which was one of Brazil's telecoms companies up until the late 90s, when I think it was privatised and sold off and became part of something else. So I'm going to build a Telerj Gundam, which is going to be helping some workers erect telecoms poles or whatever. So first thing through, detail the Gundam, clean it up. I'm going to put some wiring and stuff in these and a little bit of extra texture to it, and then paint it in similar colours to this. Maybe try to replicate this emblem, weather this a little bit, and then pose it putting poles in the ground or doing some other telecoms related work. So that's the project, and onwards, I guess.